Welcome back guys, Mark here. Today I'm going to show you simple 4 steps process you can follow on your pictures to let them really pop up. I will show you step by step and the effects of that work we will save as a preset. If that idea sounds interesting for you, let's go to the Lightroom. Okay guys, so I would like to show you 4 simple steps you can do for most of the pictures to correct the light and make your picture pop up. So for this picture, per my view, composition is quite interesting, but definitely light is far from ideal. So what I'm doing on the first step, I'm correcting just global light. So putting highlights down, even to maximum, and bringing shadows up, even to maximum. So you can see even this first step helped picture a bit, so looks much better in that moment. But let's go further. The second step is to add some local light here. So what I'm doing, I'm clicking masking and adding radial gradient. Okay, and I'm adding that radial gradient exactly in the place where I would like to add more light. And I'm doing almost the same. I'm bringing shadows up, even to maximum, highlights down, and this time I'm modifying exposure a bit. Okay, I don't want to go too much. If I will go too much, you can see it will be not looking natural. So I'm going only slightly. Okay, so something like that. And this is without second step, and this is with. Without. With. Okay, let's go further. The third step is again masking, but this time we are using option select subject. And let's Lightroom find the subject. Okay, so Lightroom found her. Maybe this is not super accurate, but let's say acceptable. We could modify that manually, but this is not the topic for that tutorial. So let's go further. I'm again doing almost the same. I'm bringing up shadows, putting down highlights and changing exposure, but also only slightly. As you could see, in every step, if I was changing exposure, I was doing that only slightly to not have big jumps, to let picture looks natural. So I think this is good, and maybe I will add contrast a bit. Okay. Cool, done. So you can see without third step and with third step, without our modifications and after our modifications so far. Okay, let's go further. The fourth step is to add some vignette, and it is helping for many kind of pictures. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the section effects and I'm going down a bit. Something like that is definitely too much, but I will keep it too much for a second, as I would like to change midpoint a bit. Okay, something like that. And I'm getting back with vignette to about -20. Okay, I think something like that is fine. So it is without vignette and this is with vignette. So what you can see right now, picture is much stronger. Here it was definitely problems with light, and right now we are focusing just on the subject. Okay, cool. Let's try that technique for another different pictures. So the second different picture, but this time as this is vertical, I put here reference, and here we will see that what we are changing. And what I'm doing exactly the same like previous time. So first step is correcting global light. So I'm putting down highlights, even to maximum, and shadows bringing up. Okay, cool. So first step done. The second was to add some local light. So I'm clicking masking again, radial gradient, and this time I'm trying to add light here. Okay, something like that. And again, shadows up, highlights down, and trying to bring up exposure a bit. maybe this is too much. Something about 0.4 will be okay. Okay, cool. And you can see still the difference. Okay, so second step done. And again, I'm going to the third step, clicking masking and choosing select subject. Okay, and again, shadows up, highlights maybe down, maybe not, but let's try with down. Okay, and exposure, and maybe this time I will add a bit of contrast. Okay, we need to be careful to still let picture looks natural. Okay, so you can see the difference, and it was third step. And the last, as previously, I'm adding some vignette, as I added that vignette. So maybe I would like to add a bit more light here. Okay, cool. So I think this looks much better. As you could see, right now that subject is popping up. A part of that what we can do just very quickly, but it's not a part of that 4 steps process, is to go a bit up with clarity and the haze. It will add that picture a bit more character. Okay, but cool, you can see how it works. So what you could notice, we did the same steps for different picture, and as you can see, it works. Per my view, for both pictures we got quite beneficial effects. So guys, what we can do is we can copy paste the same settings for other pictures. So I mean that what we did here and that what we have here. So we can just click, right click, go to development settings, copy settings, and we are checking everything, including both masks. I will show you why. But let's try if it works. So here, another picture, and let's try to copy paste those settings. Okay, but let's see if small adjustments are needed. So sure, this light I need to move here, and I would like to make it a bit bigger. Maybe even more. Okay, cool. So this looks fine. As you can see, here was our select subject, but of course here there is a different subject on the previous one, so Lightroom could not do that automatically. But anyway, this is almost great. You can see if we click update, Lightroom is looking for that subject again. Let's give a second. Okay, and subject has been found perfectly. So again, the same modifications, but maybe a bit more contrast. Okay, cool. And maybe I will add a bit of dehaze for whole picture. Again, and a bit of clarity. So you can see this effect we got again with the same steps. Before, after, before, after. But guys, as you probably noticed, we copy paste the settings. If we copy paste the settings, what we can do? We can create preset. So let's do that. But before I will do that, I will do some small trick, and I will go with saturation of blue. Okay, here, saturation of blue in calibration section. If you are interested in calibration section, let's check my other videos, but this is quite interesting and powerful trick as well. So let's keep it on that level. And right now what I'm doing, I'm going to presets, clicking plus, create preset, and I'm creating new group. Let's call it tutorial. Okay, and preset, let's call it 4 steps. Okay, but I don't want to impact on everything. I would like rather to focus on the changes we were doing. So I'm marking whole basic section. I'm marking as well masking, including that one, and a part of that calibration as we did the change. So all these 3 sections are checked and create. Okay, cool, and preset got created. But if because of any reasons you prefer to not create that preset and you prefer to have exactly that what I created right now, please let me know in comments under that video. I will put it to my webpage and will send you the link. But please let me know in comments. Okay, so let's try our preset. But you can see on that picture we have problem with sky. Sky is overexposed, definitely. So let's try to put down the general exposure, I mean the global light. Okay, so maybe this is a bit better, but as you can see right now on the bottom this is a bit too dark. But what we will do, we'll adjust our preset, I mean our radial gradient. So let's make it smaller, okay, here, and I would like to impact mostly the bottom of picture. Okay, and I think I can change exposure, I mean bring a bit more light, maybe smaller. Okay, so even such a big number I think is okay, and maybe further we can reduce general exposure. Okay, cool. And again we need to ask Lightroom to find the subject. I'm clicking for update again and waiting for effects. Okay, you could see Lightroom found it and added the changes. Okay, cool, but still we have overexposed skies. Very obvious thing what we can do is to crop the picture a bit, and I think we should do that, especially right now composition is more interesting for my view. Okay, so this is good, and I think we can leave that picture as it is, but we can try one more trick. I mean clicking masking again and adding another radial gradient. Okay, maybe something like that, but you can see I will change that parameter. So if I'm going here, we will have the jump. So everything what is inside marked on red will be impacted by our changes and outside will not. But I don't want to have such jump. So I'm going totally in different position to make that transition as soft as is possible. And what changes I'm trying to do? I'm trying to increase exposure a bit, put down clarity, maybe even totally. And also I'm manipulating highlights, but this time I'm going up. So what I'm trying to do, okay, and maybe changing the temperature also a bit. Okay, so what we are getting in that way, we are getting some kind of fake sun. I don't know if you like such effects, I don't, but as you can see, this is quite relatively easy to achieve in Lightroom. So this was before and this is after. Before, after. So I think definitely changes are very beneficial. I hope that video was useful for you. I'm very interested about your opinions, so appreciate if you may put them in the comments. Also, I very appreciate if you may click like button and subscribe to my channel to see upcoming videos. Thank you very much, guys.